Good morning, fellow Lombard City traders. I appreciate you guys checking out these videos as I do them, and I hope that they're helpful to you, but I always want to remind you that this is not a recommendation to follow along with anything that I'm doing for my trading. The reason I put together the website Lombard City is to build a community of people so that I get to learn more about trading faster, and I get to share what I'm learning to help, I hope, encourage some younger generation to do wiser things with their money earlier than what I did with mine. So I hope it helps people in the future. And your guys' participation in here and comments afterwards and what have you is always helpful. And I appreciate that. So what I'm going to do here is share my screen. And I'm still a noob at this. Present to everyone. You want to screen share with everyone. Good. And then I can go over to these screens and talk about what's on them. So to start off with, I want to look at the main project that I've been spending my time on a daily basis is the Bitcoin lending here over on Poloniex. It's been really actually amazing this past while, and I'm paying much more close attention to these spikes of opportunity that are not charted out anywhere. Let me see the green button, then I can hit mute here. The green button again, there we go. And I was saying the loan prices here, the loan rates, they're not charted out anywhere that you can see how they vary over time. But I was lucky enough last weekend to be there when the prices of these loan rates were really going through the roof. And you can see here that I still have some on that we're on now for over 7 days. They're put on the 24th and it's the 31st now. So 6 or 7 days thereabouts. And the rate are 0.4%. Pardon me. 0.4%, which is huge. 0.4 times 365 gives you an idea of what that is worth on an annualized basis. And each day I plot how much money this account has made. Let's go over to deposits and withdrawals. Started out with 2.46, now it's 2.50, and that's just over a period of a month of time. And every day I chart the prices at about 5 o'clock in the morning. Green button. So I enter that data, and you can see as the rates have come back in the last little while, it's over 180% interest rate if you were to annualize the rate that I got in return that day. And what happened is that was a loan that had been taken out earlier on, about the 24th, when that price of loans spiked, and somebody held that loan through all that time and then released it all at that one time. And so that's how that's calculated. Pardon me, it's quite a distraction until I've been talking for a while here. And so not only is this a nice return on investment percentage-wise and all that, but now there are more Bitcoin there for me to be lending out with this account. And so the compounding of that is already starting to take effect. You already get the effect of compound interest. And this looks like an amazing spike. And you say, well, how can that possibly be? Let's go back into the orders history, my trade history and analytics, because this is really important and key that most people who are trading on margin in Poloniex have really no idea how the loans are working against them. So how do I go to loan earnings? So where is that? Page 2. Page 3. Four. Look at this. 0.1. Something's going wrong here. 5. This is a lot of data entry for me. But here's we're starting to get some changes here. Not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the spike in interest rates. And we're on the 30th. Page 8. Okay, here we are. This is where some of these loans were returned. And these are the enormous rates of return here, where I had 1 Bitcoin lent out at 0.279% interest. And that was from the 24th until the 30th. And I made some nice returns, all came in at that same time as those loans were released. And so now, knowing that those kind of loans and those kind of numbers are available in those kind of earnings, that really outstrips everything that I was making earlier, the whole month. To have left or been there, luckily, and had Bitcoin available so that I could put the Bitcoin out at those nice high rates and grab those positions and put them on for a long-term trade. It returned much more money than steadily being sure that all of my Bitcoin was lent out at the really low rate. So this is something that I've now changed in my lending strategy. I've kept 1 Bitcoin, 1 and a bit of Bitcoin out of immediate lending at the lowest rate that's available, whatever it is. And I put that up at tiered levels up there above the market right now. And if I scroll down through these loans, you can see that we're already getting up to 0.08, 0.099 in a short period of time. There's only a few hundred Bitcoin between those prices and here. And once the market starts going in a couple different currencies here that are available for margin trading, then this loan area is going to be used up right away, and we're going to be hitting those top high rates. The thing is, the people who are doing the big trades in any of these markets, they are looking at the loan offers. They know how big of a trade that they can put on before all of the low interest loans are used up. 2 or 3 people could put on 100 Bitcoin position each, and this would be snapped up right away. And all we have to do is see some of those offers put up if we go to the margin trading. Right about now, you know, as Ethereum is making this retest off this support level after this breakout here that was really enormous. Something big is, some big pumping is going on in the market and a huge dump, but it's right back at let's pump it again stage. So, and volume is sliding off as prices are going down. Volume is picking up as prices are going up. So I would say that it's gearing up for another run upwards. And should that happen, people will be putting on big trades. How much has been traded? 1,800 Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. So it's pretty easy for a 300 Bitcoin position to be put on by, you know, who knows, a bunch of traders all at the same time. It's pretty easy for that group of people to use up 360 Bitcoins worth of available coins for a loan. And only the inexperienced traders that have really not taken the time to look deeply into how this works. And that's what it takes, is time to look deeply into how this works. Either it takes time to look deeply into it and study it, or it takes somebody to point it out to you so that you can quickly grasp all these concepts and use them to your advantage. So knowing that the big traders are going to be aware of the loans that are available, and the little traders are not going to be looking into how this stuff works in the first place, they're going to be jumping on late into the move. And late in the move, they're going to be paying the big prices on their loans for their margin position. And it's also these same new traders who are jumping in late, paying the highest interest. They've also got the hardest time letting go of their losses. And so they will hold a losing trade. And I know this from experience. They'll hold a losing trade and hold it and hold it and hold it, even though they're paying that interest. And the difficult thing is, when you're paying that interest, it comes off in little pieces throughout the trade. And it's hard to track unless you're being really fastidious about that. And so a person holding one of those losing trades will not see the full amount that they are paying on that trade, because it's paid over time on a daily basis. And so it's extracted from your account, either in this currency or that currency, but it's extracted from your account and paid to the person who is lending you that money, and it's accumulating in the loan area, in the lending area. So it's a fantastic place to put your money in for lending. And I do recommend this kind of tiered strategy up in the higher levels, and let that money sit there because of the returns that you can be getting when that money is lent out. And I like it because it is no risk, no time maintenance. You can set these things up like this in advance. And now I can go and work through the whole day, not check my prices on any of my Bitcoin, any of my cryptocurrencies. And some of these are triggered, and I come back and I've made some extra money out of it. And as that's accumulating, I will detail all of these processes. I will share all of my data that I'm collecting on a daily basis, and how I'm calculating the 20-day moving average, the 5-day moving average of the annualized percentage gain. And I'm calculating that on a daily basis so that I can really track the difference between investing this way and compounding interest compared to regular investing in a GIC or any kind of other investing. This is actually more consistent and kicking the butt of the success rate of my trading. And so I'm going to put my effort into where the most money comes in, not where the most fun is. Pardon me. And certainly I find this is fascinating, because every day I'm excited to come back and see how much did I earn? How much did it make my chart grow? And so to happen upon these really great interest rates and capture them and to benefit from them and put them into this graph after I've been doing this is quite rewarding. And I'm really excited to see the rest of these loans mature and have those results in these graphs as well, because I still have some of these nice 0.41% Let me find my calculator. Calculator. And I really don't, let's say it's just 0.4 whatever it was percent times 365. 146% on an annualized basis. So that means if this person was to hold that loan for a year, all of their money would be gone in less than a year. I think that's probably 8 months, maybe 9 months. All of their money would be gone from paying the interest on that loan. In a year, they would owe 1.4 times their initial investment in interest rates. And so I don't talk about this rate very much outside. It's unimaginable. It's unthinkable that somebody would take a loan that is for 146% a year. And the thing is, they're putting on this loan because they are not aware of how it all works. They're not paying attention to how all these pieces stitch together. There can be no other reason, unless it's a fantastically profitable position. But good luck trying to get a profit out of a position that's more than 146% on an annualized basis. That's a rare position. So that's enough about the lending stuff. That's what I'm really focused on. But there is the whole world going on here in the exchange. So Ethereum really has been volatile. This is a huge price move. I don't know what the news is that did this. That's an amazing pump. One of our members was really watching that back a ways. I can't remember. I think it was in this area here. And it really looked pretty good at this point here. And we were saying, if it goes higher, yes. If it goes lower, no. And actually goes short if it goes lower. And the thing with catching the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations is that you've always got to be there putting your position on when it's making a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And so then you've got to use rule number 1. And then you're there for these kind of movements like we just saw here. So here's the potential way over here. We saw potential 1, 2, 3 bottom. You could have bought in here and it would have been hard because of this big swing in prices here. That would have been a killer for most people. Then, of course, it turned out that it wasn't right. Another bottom formation here. Try it, didn't work out. Another bottom formation here, didn't work out. And this was a very quick little bottom formation, but it happened after an explosion of volume. And there is a successful 1, 2, 3 bottom formation buy. The top here really came down quick, but it came down to just about the 50% level right at these technical levels. It's quite predictable. No, it's not predictable, but it's amazing to see that it lines up with these kind of past historical prices time and time again. These things really do. It doesn't seem to matter what the market is. If you're looking at the price of corn, if you're looking at the price of these cryptocurrencies, these price levels in the charts really make a big difference. You see them over and over again, the same type of shape of price chart. And that's my big thing, is to find these bottom formations and take a position in them. So there's a beautiful one right there. Great example. Now, BitShares, this bitch bit me, but I don't think it's done yet. This is a really emotional market, obviously. Look at the amount of trade going on here. Let's look at the one-day prices. Because this has really found a bottom now. It's really flattened out here. There's a beautiful position for buying in. Beautiful. Let's go into a 1 month view. Wow. Even better. Look at that. Well, I guess I have to change accounts when I've got some Bitcoin that I can be using for trading, because I have to go and buy more BitShares. Now, where's my expendable money? 0.9, cancel. Cancel. So I have 0.4 Bitcoin to go into that. Oops, I have to move it over. Transfer balances. This Bitcoin from here to exchange. Now I can go back to the exchange. And let's go shopping. If I was to buy 0.4 Bitcoins worth it, here's the sell orders at 13. I would take it up to 1340. But people are selling at 1321. Nice chunks of it. 1321. So if I was to buy at 13, that's probably 1317. I could buy another 28,000 of them. Is my chart formation shaping up? 1, 2, 3, bottom formation. It is shaping up. Of course, the official trading signal is to buy on the breakout above the number 2 point. Number 1, number 2, number 3. When it breaks above the number 2, that confirms that that indeed was the number 3 point. Right, this is the potential number 3 right now. It is not proven to be the number 3 point until prices break above the number 2 point. Then we have a proven formation. And of course, it gains steam every time it's going above any of these points. So I'm wanting to purchase. And I'm going to purchase because that's what this money is here for. At the same time, I want to look through the rest of these. If I'm going to be putting this money in somewhere, let's go take a look at the rest of these because I've already got 42,000 of them. So 42,000 of them is a 0.56 Bitcoin invested in it already. So let's continue looking on the rest of the charts. And I'll come back to that because this, I don't want to be buying into it now and have it still finishing its downtrend like this is still going down. And the awesome thing is I did make a little bit of money on this going short. I didn't mean to do that. But at that time, I went short and then I got out of my short position. And it was an important break right in here. Prices did this and I got out of my trade and they came back up and I was glad I wanted to go short again right away here. It made a formation, a nice top formation right in there. I wanted to go short again and I didn't. And you can see that it would have been, of course, hindsight is wonderful. I didn't go short again at that point. I'm trying to zoom into too much, of course. And the reason I didn't go short was because of the conversation going on in the troll box. Right in here, I got out of my trade and I wanted to go short again. It just looked like it was continuing to go weak. And everybody was saying, oh, wow, this is such cheap Monero. I'm glad to be buying it. This is fantastic. Everybody was, and I thought, oh, maybe I shouldn't be buying or going short in this. And I didn't. And it was really cheap Monero in the lending area. Just cheap. You could hold this trade for a long time for next to nothing for fees on your trade. So it's continuing to go down and would be expected to continue to go down, I think. Let's get this to zoom out. But there's not a lot of room for it to go down now. You know, this is back in here when it was failing and was supposed to be going up and failed that. Would have down from there. No buy on that one yet. It's still fading off and not good for a short now because it's faded off so much. Here's another one that I was short in and expecting it to go down to 82 when it was up in here. And again, my own doubts got me out of this trade instead of just holding it. Instead of just holding your winning trades and sitting back and giving them the room to move over a period of time. This is another one that the loan rates were really fantastic. They were so low, it was like I was getting the loaned money to me for free to go short on this. So there's money I didn't make. Because each one of these rebounds here, I was jumping out of. I was wanting to jump out every time I did a rebound, even though by my own chart reading, I was expecting 82 in the prices. I was expecting it to crack down to 82. So great to make that prediction ahead of time and then see it, even though I didn't benefit from the whole move, to know for the current trades, the next trades, to stick with it longer. When it's a winning trade, let it go, even if it's coming back and seeming to, coming right back. It was a winning trade. Take that risk because of this kind of profit. Lots of times it'll come back against you and you'll get kicked out at a little small loss, and that's just the way it is. These things are just a wash. But this is what you're positioning to be ready for. That's my reminder to my future self. This one I'm not touching. It's been doing too many crazy things. This is a major spike down here. It's hard to see on this chart, but I'm not touching Litecoin. I was expecting that this was the prelude to a major, huge explosion. I thought that was going to break out from here, but then it's faded off. And as the Litecoin mining halving went on, I'm not sure what's going on with this recent spike here, but I'm not touching it. Something big is going on, and maybe I should get out of my prejudice and never mind what I think about it. That is amazing. And that's the Litecoin compared to Bitcoin price, not the Litecoin compared to US dollar price. Wow. So this really actually, on this kind of view, looks like it's consolidating for another huge move. And I want to put some money into it now, just by zooming in. Cool. Maybe I'll put a little bit into Litecoin and a little bit more into BitShares. Ripple had an explosion of movement here. What's going on with Ripple? That's a pretty low price for Ripple. Pretty low price for Ripple. Right back down to historical levels. Might be good to put a little bit of money into that too. The bottom formation isn't big enough yet in Ripple, and the bottom formation isn't big enough here in NXT. Clam, you've lost me confidence. It's probably time to buy then. No, not yet. It's got to go down more yet. Of course, it doesn't got to do anything, but it looks like it's going to slip down more yet. However, there is potential for a bottom. Shaping up. Not ready for it yet, though. Not as exciting as Litecoin. No, I'm not doing that. Digibyte. This is looking good. You take that explosion out. Isn't that looking good? I bought some of this in my other account back over here. I like this. And then it's 106 Satoshi each. Always need more Bitcoin, eh? 0.1, 0.2. So that breaks my trades into thirds. So I can do 0.12 of Litecoin and 0.12 of BitShares. But I've already got a bunch of BitShares, so I don't need to do any more BitShares. Litecoin. Ten Litecoins. Made, of course, I have some. Let's take a look at Dogecoin, which I'm not much of a fan of, but that kind of chart is inviting because it's at historical low levels, making what's potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And with Bitcoin prices doing what they're doing, there's just going to be excitement all over the place in the cryptocurrency world. I think I'll pick up a little bit of this. This is it might be my first time trading it. Oh, do it. All right, so that's what I picked up here today. There's a little bit of Litecoin, some Digibyte on this account, some Dogecoin. I already have made, so I don't need to buy any more of this. How much is 6,200 made worth anyway? Oh, look at that formation. Three Bitcoin. Look at that formation. Look at that formation. That is a beautiful formation. I can't wait to see what this looks like next week, because that is a wonderful formation. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. Wow. I need to get more Bitcoin. But I already have some, so I decided before I looked at the chart that I wasn't going to buy it. Now, Counterparty, which surprised me in the past here, it's not a good enough bottom formation yet. Still showing some fading yet. And because that 300,000 Satoshi, it's still a long ways it can go down. This TR is probably bouncing like Ripple, but not quite the same. We had a couple panic drops of it, and now the market's consolidating, and this is also looking like an inviting bottom. I knew there'd be all sorts of really great bottom formations shaping up now. Look at that downtrend, potential bottom right there. Really wonderful bottom formations shaping up. What is this? This is really taking off as well, and still it's not done. It's just about to go through the roof right now. Look at that. Get to recognize these charts, because this kind of pattern is what we are going to be making our money out of in these cryptocurrencies. This kind of ramping up, getting in between, like Digibyte right now is in a ramp and a rest, ramp and a rest. And this one's just about to ramp right now. So there's more things I want to put my money into. And I know that Gems is going to do the same thing to me. I'm surprised that it's not making me jump right here, actually. Because in past videos, I was critical. Look at the wall, 140 Bitcoin. Anything that becomes available is being bought. So this is another one. I need more Bitcoin. I want to have ownership in every one of these right now. This one I don't know. Big crystals. It's very new. I don't know it, but put an order to buy in way down here, because there will be spikes and drops here. Factum, which is supposed to have been something amazing, I never learned much about. It's also very new and fading off here. There's some big moves here where people are unloading. 114 Bitcoin worth. 64 Bitcoin worth. So it's not done going down yet. And I don't know enough about the initial public offering and how much the investors are making off this right now. XEM. I bought some on this ramp up, and I'm still holding it on a different account though. $1 of it. Vanilla coin, bitch. I bought some of this and it slid right off as soon as I bought it. Right in here, because it was making a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation right at significant technical levels, and it faded off. Now it's doing the same thing. Potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation at significant technical levels. And this I'll just hold on to in my other account. I don't have any here, but just holding on to it. This has got a little bit of volume here, and I'm holding some of this at a loss because I bought it at around 20 way at the beginning. This one's interesting to me because I actually want to go and purchase an 8 terabyte hard drive, set it up and hook it up so that I can provide space to Coin and to MadeSafe, and to do farming by providing hard drive space to these networks and make money off having a hard drive sitting here. This one's in the ditch. Game credits, GMC. Actually, that's enough of a bottom formation, enough of a catch in the bottom there that it could be ready for the next or whatever. And there's a lot of buying going on here. Buying. Whatever comes in for sale, somebody's scooping it up, just catching it and buying it. Pretty good. And yeah, I like this. A little bit of buying would push it right back up to some pretty high levels. And we've already seen this market do some amazing things. I made some fantastic profits off this. It's one of my best trades ever. Made some good, a little bit of profit on this, and then I lost some by over trading it. Now I bought back in, and this I'll just forget. Just leave it sit there. StorageX, this is another one that I may be interested in providing hard drive space for when they are up and running, but it looks like they are having some troubles. And that's not a bottom formation yet. What else are we looking at? RDD, I bought some of that when it was 5 Satoshi, so I'm down a bit in that. Hypercoin, I bought some, and I'm down in that, and it's not looking good. I think I might get out of my Hypercoin. Sorry for screwing the screen around here, but what do we got for buy orders if I was to be selling my 32,000? I would have to go all the way to 160 in order to get rid of it. Boom. I'm out of there. Now I can be going over to Made Doge Gems. You guys watching along and buying all the gems because I said that? Sell orders, 5,000. But I don't have that much. So now I have 880 gems, and I got out of my... How much do I have in here? Nah, that's okay. What else? Let's go back here. That pretty much covers it. If you were on the call, you could ask questions now. Let's go to the home page of the website here for the final closing of this short little hangout. And it looks like Bitcoin prices are topping right now. You can see some spikes in those tails of those candles where people are dropping and dumping coin. So I think it's going to slide off from here, and a short position might be an interesting gamble at the moment. I am just holding my Bitcoin and lending them out and growing them. I'm not paying attention to the price of Bitcoin except to be happy that it's going up, because I purchased mine on the 24th of September, right in here. And this is definitely looking like a 1, 2, 3 top formation now. And a crack down below there would definitely be a sell signal. Since we've had such a run up here in the last while, that would be expectable. And having it come back down to test 290, 280 level would be quite doable. And the bots would be right on top of that. You know, this once that cracks, it's going to plunge. But I'm not doing leverage trading on Bitcoin. I'm just holding mine and lending it out. And then I'm taking positions in the altcoins that are in a bottom formation right now, that when the hysteria from Bitcoin washes over to all of the Bitcoin or altcoins and cryptocurrencies, I will have been positioned at these levels when prices are nice and low, and then I just hold. So that's it for this hangout. I appreciate you guys following along. If you've got any questions, buzz them on down, send them to me. I love chatting about it. And it's great to have you guys along. Thanks again. Bye for now.